viewers, you are welcome to B-domeduaids.com. My last video, we look at how to convert numbers from other bases to base 10. Now in these videos, we are going to see how to convert numbers from base 10 to other bases. For example, if you are being given a number in base 10 and they ask you to convert to either base 2 or base 4 or any other base, how are you going to do it? Now, we are going to take this example to show you the methods or the steps in which you are going to follow to do that. Now, this is very simple. For example, this is the equation that we have. We are going to use this as an example. Convert 23 in base 10 to base 2 number. Now, this 23 is in base 10. We are going to convert it to a base 2 number. How are we going to do that? It's very simple. It's very simple. So after the end of this class, I expect everybody to be able to do this. So first of all, you write your solution. Like I always say, for every problem there is always a solution. After you have written your solution, I normally advise students to use the cross sign so that it should make everything easier and simpler. Now what we are going to do is that we are going to take this 23 in base 10 and divide it by the base 2 that we are converting it to. Let's write the 23 here. Remember, it's in base 10. We are converting it to what? Base 2. Write your 2 here. So now you are going to say 23 divided by 2. Write your answer and the remainder. Remember, the remainder is the most important thing in this conversion. So 23 divided by 2 is how many times? 2 will go into 2 one time, and 2 will go into 3 one time, remainder 1. That simply means 2 will go into 23 11 times, remainder 1. So you write your remember, take note of the remainder. Now 2 can still go into this 11. Then we say 2 will go into 11. How many times? 2 will go into 11 5 times, remainder 1, because 2 times 5 will give you 10 plus the remainder 1, it becomes 11. That's why we say 2 will go into 11, 5 remainder 1. Now 2 can still go into 5. 2 can still go into 5. 2 into 5, how many times? 2 will go into 5 2 times, remainder 1 again. 2 will go into 5 2 times, remainder 1. If you say 2 times 2, it will give you 4 plus your remainder, it will give you back your 5. Now 2 can still go. 2 into 2 is 1 time, remainder 0, because 2 will go into itself only once and nothing will be remaining. That's why we say the remainder 0. Now something can still happen here, because we cannot leave this thing like this. We still have 1 here, and 1 is not the end of our division. So we must have to make this place to be 0 remainder something. That's when we have reached the end of our division. Now 2 into 1. How many times will 2 go into 1? 2 cannot go into 1. So you put 0. Remainder what? Remainder that 1. For example, if I have 1 marker and I give you 1 marker to share to 2 students, you will not be able to share the 1 marker to the 2 students because it's only 1 marker. So you will put 0 because you will not be able to share it to them. Now remainder 1. Why is it remainder 1? Because that 1 marker is still with you. So that's the only thing that is remaining. That's why we say remainder 1. Now we have finished our conversion, but the question is, how are we going to get our answer? How you are going to get your answer is that you are going to pick from bottom to top. You pick your answers from bottom to top, which simply means 23 in base 10 is equal to, pick from bottom, 1 0 1 1 1 in base what? In base 2. Now we have successfully converted 23 in base 10 to base 2 number. So this is the end of our conversion now. We have converted from verse 10 to verse 2. If you are being given any number, either in verse 10 to convert to verse 4, or to convert to verse 3, or to convert to verse 5, or any base at all, what you will do is that you follow this step like this and you arrive at your answer. Pick your answer from bottom to top, and that's the end of our conversion. Thank you for watching this video. If you find it very interesting, you share it and like. Thank you.